Here's the opening range results for May 2023. Sorry, it's a little late, but let's get to it. The red dates here, we will go over each one individually. Those are not included in the totals down here, so you can subtract or add to the totals however you see fit as I describe the trades here. But the Dow had 62 points, so May 10th was this one here. It actually had a 25% loser, and then the next trade was a winner, so that was break even. And then the next trade was a win for 16 points, so that's why there's 3 trades there. It had a 50% win as well, so for this particular date, it got 49 of its 62 points. Then the other date here is the 18th, which was 13 points. NQ had 45.5 points for May. So 45.5, again, May 5th, 17.5 points here. 17th, 5 points. 18th had 2 trades, which were winners on the 25%, so that's 9.5, and then break even on the 50%. It took 2 trades to win that, so break even there. 22nd had 4.75 points and 8.75 points, 45.5 points. S&P here had a couple of trades, 0.75, so a small opening range there, and then a 25-50% win there, and that is that. So let's go down to the red days. Again, these totals do not include this. May 2nd, ugly day, one of the uglier ones we've had, and interesting as well. So the 25% never triggered on the May 2nd, and it actually had 6 pivot hits. So it continued to go down and down and down, and just never, it always won the 25%, but it continued to lose the 50%. So your first entry would have been the third trade. That was a loss. Second entry, you would add an additional contract. That was a loss, so you would add additional contracts, and that finally won. So you'd broke even on, but you would have to do 3 trades on the 50%. The 25% for the S&P, same type of thing, except for the 25% lost its first 2. It took 3 trades to get you to break even. And actually the 50%, this also had 6 pivot hits. It lost every single one. So you would have had to, you would have had your first trade, second trade, third trade, fourth trade. You would have added a 5th time in order to get any money, which you're talking large amount of contracts. More than likely blows out anybody in that scenario if you just keep doing it. Strange day. 25% kept winning, and that's even in the S&P. It won, pivot hit 4, 5, 6, 7. Just could not get it. It missed it by a couple of ticks, a couple of times on the 50%, but it would have blown out accounts for sure, 100%. And those are the ones you have to avoid, those type of days, in order for this thing to work. That's so. However you do your money management is up to you, but that's the way we kind of got it lined up. As far as May 4th, same type of thing, except for this time it was the Dow. Dow had 7 pivot hits. In this particular case, very small opening range. So the day before, 2 days before, so on May 2nd, the opening range was 134 points. May 3rd, the opening range was 89. And then on May 4th, the opening range was 42 points. So half of what it was the day before. And then on May 5th, it was 128 points. So triple what it was on that day. So a weird spot there. And we talk about watch out for small opening ranges and so forth. In that particular case, a lot of those trades happened before 10 o'clock. But you won at 10% later after 10 o'clock, but it took you 3 entries in order to get your 25%, so you would have broke even if you kept doing that. The 50% was a break even after 2 particular trades. S&P was a little cleaner. I just included it here. You won your first one, and your 50% was clean. This was clean. So those really could be added here legitimately, and you got, was it 16.5 points on that. The 26th, I'm actually going to show you this one because I don't remember one this big. So I'm going to show you this one. But 25%, 12.5 or 12.75 points. Those are legit ones, which I'll go over in just a second. And then I'll show you some of the streak stuff. And so you could add some of this to the totals as well. But before I get to the 26th, let's go to the 31st. 31st is fairly easy. That one is actually, the only reason I put that in red is because the first pivot hit missed being a win by 2 ticks. So it would have been a win. So we've talked about 1 tick before. This was 2 ticks. So officially, if you do strictly based on the rules, that is a legit win, and you would add that to the total. But I wanted to make it clear that I personally don't take those where it's 1 or 2 ticks. It won, in my mind, it quote unquote won, so I wouldn't take the next trade when it misses by that. So, and then the S&P, let's look at the S&P real quick for that date of the 26th. 26, that was clean, 2.75 points, so that could be added here as well. So the real kicker is the NQ on the 26th, and of course the May 2nd one. So if we take a look at this, let me bring that up. So here's the May 26th. So what you're looking at is the opening range, 17 points. Very small opening range. Anytime it's under 20 really is a small opening range. But the day before, so you kind of can see the volatility. You know, if you're in low volatility and all the opening ranges are, 20 and 25 and whatever, 17 is not that big a deal. The day before this, however, the opening range was 66.75, and the day after this, the opening range was 47. So you're in a semi-high volatility time frame, and you get a small opening range. That can be a disaster, and you can see 13 trades happened. This is the number of pivot hits, which is extremely high. I don't remember one that big. This is also the day before Memorial Day, so it's a Friday, so the markets have an extra day to wait, so they're going to be a little active as well. So why those 3 minutes were so small, I don't know, but they were, and this is kind of the result. So so your first pivot hit was a loss, so you'd be entering here. So this is legit, 4.25 points. Next one, this is for the 25%. Next one was a win, so you don't worry about it. Next one was a loss, so you'd enter here, 4.25 points, so everything's good so far. Loss, or excuse me, a win, and then a loss here, so you'd be entering a contract here, which lost, so you'd triple up, and that loss, so you'd have to do it again there, and you finally got it. So however you slice that again is up to you, but you're going to have to keep throwing contracts at it for the way that I trade it or talk about trading it. And then this one here, loss, so you would enter here. So you had 3 legit wins of 4.25 each. So so that's good, 12.75 in that. And then it's just dealing with this streak right here. Right, and then the 50% you had, that's legit here outside of the fact that it's before 10 a.m. But so that's 8.5 points. So this is the 50%. So loss. You buy it on the third, or this 2 losses in a row. You buy it, or you enter a trade there. Loss here, win there, loss, loss. So you'd enter here. You have to double it up. So this is a break even here. And then loss, loss. So this is a legit win here. So that's a legit win there. And this one is a legit win here. So that's 17 points on top of the 1275. That's, 29, almost 30 points in the NQ. You just have to deal with this little thing. And again, the opening range, the smallness of the opening range cost the Dow in the May 4th example, and again in this example in the NQ. So a bit of a strange month. Let me know how you guys did, and I'll talk to you next month. We've opened up June with a win. Just one trade so far as of this recording. Have a great one. If you have any questions, drop me a line. Take care.